What's good, fam? Agent O here, and this is my first review of this new year. Better late than never, but today I have the SH Figuarts Vega, or in America as he's better known as M. Bison. And you know, it's the standard fighting body line that they've been doing. You can see all the nice detail on the back like they usually do, the nice little Street Fighter stats like in the game. Some more stuff on the side, nothing really up at the top. Got a nice little pick on the bottom. It's got the Tamashii seal of approval, so you know it's not a bootleg. And yeah, that is it for the the outside of the box. It's pretty much what they've been doing for all these Street Fighter figures. So yeah, let's open this up and let's get to the review. And here we have Bison, Vega, whichever name you prefer. I'll just go with Bison since we're in America, and yeah. Those of you who are into Street Fighter know like the backstory behind why a lot of these names got switched over because M. Bison's actually Balrog. It's Mike Bison, and you know they wanted to avoid getting sued by Mike Tyson since he's a parody. And yeah, that's why the names got switched around. So anyway, here's M. Bison, and I mean, I don't really have any issues with this figure, aesthetics wise. I think it looks pretty good. I like the bright red of his costume, the shadowing, the shadow wash that the light wash that they put to play in some of the shadows and the folds of his clothes actually play very well on the figure once my camera decides to focus. And I do really dig his face sculpt. I like the sculpt. I like the way the light plays off of it, and he just looks stern. I do like his other face better. With the crazy smile, the toothy grin that he always has, that big ass Kool-Aid smile. And yeah, I mean, this is more of a Street Fighter 2 aesthetic. I don't know about, it's classic Street Fighter 2. I would even say it also reminds me of Capcom vs. SNK, because he was kind of bulky in that too, but he wasn't like alpha bulky. Like, just for comparison's sake, here's the Soda Toys version, and this is more alpha. This is more of an alpha reference because of how big he is. And you know, they're roughly the same size height wise. Yeah, they're just about the same height. So yeah, and I mean, if you don't have the Figuarts version and you still have the Soda version, I mean, it's still a pretty good. This is a pretty good sculpt. This is one of the sculpts I really liked. This guy, I liked M. Bison. I liked the sculpt they did for Balrog, Sagat. I think I never got Vega, so I don't know how the sculpt was, but from what I saw, it looked pretty good. But yeah, I think this figure is still good, still holds up. I do like that it came with a cape, one thing that this figure did not come with, which was very disappointing to me. I kind of wish they had figured out a way to work a cape in. I'm sure there's going to be some third parties that'll do a cape with this figure. And I mean, and the cape is nothing to write home about. It's a thin piece of fabric. I mean, it's sheer, you can see right through it. But it's the fact that they included it with the figure, I think is still a nice touch, and it's removable. It just pegs in, you know, and you can just take it off, and you have, you know, capeless Bison. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the aesthetics. But as moving on to the articulation, his articulation isn't too bad. It's actually pretty serviceable, but that's to be expected with this fighting body line. Just his head is on a ball joint, so he can look up and he can look down about that much, just because of the head sculpt, and his hair in the back kind of gets in the way. But with the neck articulation, he can look up a little higher and he can look down a lot lower. So you have that. his I don't know, his shoulder pads or pauldrons, I don't know, whichever one you want to call them. They're on ball joints, and there's a lot of play so that you can get a lot of posing, and you can move his arms, so there's no restriction whatsoever with his shoulder pads. So that is also a very nice touch. That's one thing that the Soda figure did not have, was the articulation with the shoulder pads. The arms are on a ball peg or a ball swivel joint, and you can see that the shoulders, the inner shoulder, it's got an inner shoulder that also moves about, so to give you a bit more range of motion. But yeah, he can get his arms up, and there's lots of rotation at the shoulder. He doesn't have like most of the other fighting body figures, he doesn't have bicep swivel, which is disappointment for me, but the bicep swivel's in the elbow, and you know, I don't care for that, as you guys well know. But he does have double jointed elbows, so he can get that much of a bend. His fists are on a ball swivel, so they're easy to remove. He gets a little bit of movement up and down. The cuffs kind of get in the way, but it's to be expected with the design of this, the character design of this figure. He's got the diaphragm joint, of course, and he's got hip swivel, good rotation on the hips, lots of movement. Because I hit the bottom of his jacket, he can only get about that much of a split. It's not too bad, but he has that fighting body like double swivel with the hidden inner thigh swivel as well, so he can go forward about that much, almost high enough for a front snap kick, and he can go back that much, so it's not too bad. Double jointed knees, and he can also swivel at the knee as well, in case you can't get enough range of motion out of the thigh swivel. He has it in the knees too. His shin guards don't really get in the way. They actually kind of come up a bit, so you can pull his feet in that far, and his feet point out that far, and of course he's got the toe point. So yeah, I dig this figure. I don't really have any issues with it. I kind of wish he had a little bit more range of motion in the shoulders, but that's just me. I mean, you can make it work. But yeah, it's pretty solid, and you're not going to have any trouble getting him into any of his famous poses, or doing fighting moves, doing like little fight scenes, or making it look like, doing choreography or whatever. It's going to look really good. As for accessories, he doesn't come with a whole lot. He comes with the backdrop thing that I don't really care for these, even though this looks pretty nice, but it's whatever. It's still in the plastic. Mine's still, I haven't even opened it yet, because I don't really care for these. Maybe other people do. It's not my cup of tea. Like I said, he comes with an extra head or a faceplate. It's his smiley, crazy smile face, and I like this. It looks really good. Especially looks really good when it's on the figure, and it's real easy to change because it just slides out, and you just slide the other face in, and real quick. One other detail I wanted to point out that I forgot is the Shadow Loose symbol is missing. He has it on his hat, but he doesn't have it on the Figuarts hat. So that was just a little detail that I thought was worth mentioning that I wish they had included, but it doesn't make or break the figure at all to me. Maybe other purists might have a problem with it. I don't. He only comes with one other set of hands. They're open flexed hands, and they're a pretty good sculpt. I dig them. But they always do good hand sculpts, so he comes with those, and then he comes with two energy effects that fit in the palms of the hands. Trying to figure out how they fit, you just kind of gotta play with it and finagle it a bit. but once you get it right, it does hold. There, I think this is, no, that's not it. Anyway, I'm not gonna mess with it too much, but when you do it right, it does fit. I think there, wait, this might actually be for the other hand. Because I think one's for the right and one is definitely for the left. Yeah, this is actually, there's an R on the bottom. Actually, there's an R on the bottom of this, so this is for the right hand. I did, maybe if I had opened that pack that had the diorama backdrop in it, I would have seen that, because it would have explained that in the instructions, but I didn't care. So there we go. You see, it fits in really well once you get it angled right, and yeah, he holds it quite nicely. So he has those, and then he has these switchable arms. You just pop these arms out of the sockets, and then you put these arms in, and it looks like he folds his hand, like his hands are folded. I'm not gonna do it on camera. I'll probably just include a picture of it, but you get the idea. You know, just pretend his arms aren't there, or he kind of looks like Goro. But yeah, they fit in. It's just kind of for me, it was kind of a pain, because once you pop them out, they're pretty secure. Once the arms are pretty secure in the body, and I'd rather have that than have it be loose, like I saw in Strident's review for the Storm Collectibles M Bison, which had the same like mechanic. So it's a kind of a pain once you pop them out to try to pop them, and you really have to push to get them to pop into place. So I'd rather not do that on camera. I would just rather explain it and show some pictures where I already did it. So yeah, overall, good, decent figure. Can't wait till they release Sagat. I hope they release Balrog, and I hope they just continue this line, honestly, because I want to see more, and I want to see all the original 8 World Warriors and the 4 new challengers, and then they can do whatever they want after that. I don't care. I just want those characters. So yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it. I got really nothing else, so until the next action figure review, I'm Agent O and I'm out. Peace.